case they want to
Okay,
hear back
I'm now
exactly what's going
recording the meeting,
on. Okay,
everybody.
so don't talk about you
So I
guys
just
about
wanted,
doing the
since I'm doing the recording, I want to do a basic synopsis of where we're at. We've been using a Salesforce platform for 3 years, Financial Force for 2 years. Conga is a product that is built into Financial Force. So we pay Financial Force and they pay Conga for the use of that product. We have been suffering from slow document merge process pretty much intermittently from day one. Majority of the time is during the morning hours, and we're in Pacific Standard Time for the most part. Morning hours between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m., but we have also had intermittent issues throughout the day. In some cases, the document generation takes a long time, which would be 3 or more minutes. In some cases, the merge fails to happen at all, and the merge bar never appears, and we have to kill that and start over. So I brought in a few people from a few different sites to try to narrow down on the issue. Some of the things that we've done is we've examined our network switching, we examined our firewall, we examined our servers, we have examined the computers. We have found no correlation to any of that to this problem. What we did find is that one person could print a document fine 1 minute, and then the very next time it delays. So it seems unlikely that this is something on our network, on the Salesforce platform, or anything within our control. So, but that's kind of where we're at right now. So Julie was, she's working from home. She's been having intermittent issues from day one, where either it takes a long time to print, or it doesn't merge the document at all and give it ready to print. So Matt Jacobs, he prints probably on the order of 100 documents a day, if I had my guess. And his is in the same situation. Matt, do you want to elucidate on that some more? Is it pretty much what I said, or?
Yeah, exactly. And I would say every day at some point I have a Conga slowdown. So today was probably around 10:30. I did 3 POs in a row. The first one went really slow. So actually 4 POs. The second three I timed and it was like a minute 7, a minute 42, and then 3:20. And the one that was 3 minutes and 20 seconds, there was no attachments. It was a one-line order. I just did another one while we're on this phone call. It was 7 seconds. So it's very
Mhm.
intermittent. But I would say it's every day. And I don't think it was better or worse when I was working at home or here. And then I had
Yeah.
computer problems. We recently upgraded me about a month ago to a new computer. And while it solved a lot of issues, it didn't make a difference on Conga. I have the same issue with Conga.
Okay.
Secondary
Great.
issue with Conga that's really hard, I'll just mention for Travis and I.
Hmm.
When you have different format documents, it puts them into a zip file, which our vendors then won't accept. So just it's extra work for Travis and I on vendors that need specific documents from us, and then we can't use Conga to send them because it's a zip file that they won't accept.
Okay. We should talk about that. So basically, the documents that Conga generates is coming up as a docx, right?
I'm
And
not
you're,
sure what it comes. If somebody
uh-huh.
gives me like an Excel file and a PDF, and I try to there's certain files. I don't remember if it's Excel or PDF. Certainly, if there's multiple formats, but some attachments that will attach to our document, turn it to a PDF, and you can send to the vendor. And other times, it just puts them all in a zip file, and then the vendors don't accept them.
Okay.
I know one in particular is a RTF. It doesn't like those.
The RTF, so we're attaching those manually to the purchase order?
Those are being uploaded as a file in Financial Force, and then we're merging them when we go to email out of the Conga Composer. And it'll take
Okay.
a PDF and an RTF, and it'll just put them in a zip file instead of merging them.
All right. So basically, okay, so the issue that I have is that I can get a log out of Composer that shows the documents that were sent, but I can only get those from yesterday and prior. So I'm going to just share my screen real quick and just show you the activity for yesterday for Matt Jacobs. And over here on the far right of the screen, it shows the total duration of the document. So according to this, the slowest document took 25 seconds to merge yesterday.
Yesterday wasn't bad.
When
Although
was
it'd
the
be interesting to look, is that a one line that's taken 25 seconds, or is that putting a bunch of documents together? Is the other
Yeah,
thing.
I don't think it's putting a bunch together, but this is the time it takes to merge the initial document. So there might be other times added to this, which seems likely. What do you know? When was the last like bad day you had?
I honestly, I was off all last week. I'm not gonna
Okay.
be able to remember.
All right, cool. Okay. All right, so let's go. Let's move on. And so Dustin and Tamika, I brought you in. I wanted to get your ideas on, how bad this problem is in Hayward. If you have the same problems when you're working from home. So I guess Dustin first.
Yeah, my experience is the same. Slow, especially on the quote side. I've noticed it's particularly slow, but also the SO.
All the
And
time or some of the time?
it seems like more lately. I don't know if it's just because I'm hyper aware of it now, but yeah, I don't know. For me, it seems like the past few days have specifically been really bad all the time, basically. I haven't seen it go through as I'm accustomed to in quite some time.
So I'm looking. So the one thing that this log does not capture is if the mail merge did not complete 100%. So if it hung. So is in your case, does it hang or does it eventually come up?
It eventually comes up from what I've seen.
So according to the log here, between Friday and Monday, the longest you've had to wait was 44 seconds, according to the log.
That sounds about right.
All right?
I've probably canceled a few though, I'll be honest.
Because they took longer than a minute?
Then probably a minute. Yeah, that's typically as long as I'll wait.
Right.
I mean, I don't have a stopwatch in front of me, obviously.
Got
but
it. Okay. I'm gonna generate a report that's a longer report. I'm gonna do the whole month of March just so we get a good cross section. Okay,
Cool.
and Tamika.
Mines haven't had any significant time. I know, just like Dustin, if it just takes over at least 30 seconds for me, I'm already moving on to something else and just closing it
Mhm.
out and redoing it again. So
Or letting
it
it run in the
hasn't.
background too.
Yes, exactly. And letting it run
Mhm.
in the background and then go back to it. I know a few people on our inside sales team have had the long, significant time. Like Andrew Ernst, he's one of those that's really affected by it.
So if you open a new window, you're basically letting it run in the background, basically.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Tried to narrow down my report here. Okay, so Andrew Ernst. Is he working in the office or working from home?
He's in the office currently.
And he's had this problem regardless of with whether he's at home or in the office. Is that correct?
That's what I understand. Yeah.
Okay. I'm taking this report real quick here and formatting it. And so other than that, has anybody else complained about this to the managers?
I thought Christian complained to us too, Dustin. Am I?
Christian? Yeah, no, you're probably right.
Yeah, Christian did say he was having issues, and he works from home.
Okay. Checking for Ernst activity to see what we got for him. Okay. This is funny. Okay, and according to this, the longest he's had to wait is 21 seconds, which seems
Yeah, that's all right.
odd. I'm doing everybody to see. So that the timing would only be how long it takes to merge. So once you hit the button, it goes to the screen that says Conga. That's when it should start the count. And according to this, the longest has been 56 seconds, which I'm going to share my screen real quickly just so we can show that to support when they look at this video. So I ran this report for the entire month of March for all users, and the longest duration listed here was 56 seconds, and only about a dozen have gone over 30 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think most of us let it wait that long.
Well, didn't you have one yesterday, Chris, that was like in the few minute range?
We had one
Yeah.
today. We had one today
Yeah.
that was. So I have no doubt that these numbers are not accurate 100%.
Right. Oh, okay.
Because we had a test because we had a slowness just today. And Ben ran it. It took 10 minutes, and I ran it. It took 20, 30 seconds, and he ran it again, and it took 2 minutes, Ben?
That's
Yeah,
weird.
it was 10 minutes the first time, and then about 4 the second, and then 30 seconds the third time.
What if go ahead and run it now just to see what it shows now. And this, we're just picking a small quote. It's not a big giant quote. Which one did I pick here? Of course, I can't find it. Okay. Oh, it's a Johnstone. Johnstone.
10 seconds right now.
Yeah. Mine was a two-line quote. Okay, so the question then becomes, okay, who did we miss? We got Matt, we got Chris and Dustin, we got Chris Flores. Can you talk about your experience real quick?
Mine's a lot like Tamika's. I don't let them go more than 20 seconds before canceling them, and then I just come back to it later whenever it's up and running again. But it happens intermittently, and it happens almost daily. But to mirror what Dustin said, it mostly occurs in the morning at some point.
So let me look at so what we have here is the total average time to print shows 2.8 seconds. I don't believe it. I don't think that's accurate. I think it's closer to 10 to 15 seconds. That would be my guess based on the limited experience I have. But so the question is, how long is too long? And that is a philosophical question. I heard Julie said it should be instant. There's no instant. There's always going to be a delay. The question is, how long is that delay, and how can we limit that delay? For example, we have invoicing process that happens every night. The invoice process sends out 100 or more invoices a day. And nobody's ever complained about that being slow because it's an automated process. Nobody's ever complained about not getting their invoice. So we know it is an accurate process. So the question is, can we get away with doing something like a batch print process that you don't have to wait? So your document will be sent, but it will be sent in a batch, like every 10 minutes or maybe every 5 minutes.
That's a hard no. That's a hard no.
Why is it a no?
That's not an option.
Okay, well, what if I told you we had to send all of our invoices manually, though?
Well, that's not an option either. So
Why?
Because it's not. You have a customer on the phone. They place an order. They want their sales order acknowledgement. Period. They're not going to wait for 4 hours to get that.
Not 4 hours.
Somebody wants
not
a
4
quote,
hours.
they want it
Not
right
4
now.
hours. 10 minutes.
Okay. There's a solution. I talked to Kristen around Conga. It would be writing code to document forms, whatever. I think Conga needs to address this and figure it out. And I agree with Julie. It should be instant. You have a merge time, but that should not be.
Well, that's not instant. That's not instant.
Pat, when I said instant, it was like when we first had this program, it worked. Like you push the button, it popped up. It's almost like you push the print button. You have a pop up, you finish it the same way. I don't mean any more instant than that.
I know. I wasn't trying to put you on I wasn't trying to put you on the spot. And for the most part, 90% plus and probably 95% plus, it works to our satisfaction. Is that accurate or is that not accurate?
I'd say that's not accurate, because if it's daily, and what I've experienced, and when I'm talking about, this is what's weird to me, is that as soon as we're starting to have Conga issues, 99% of the time, multiple people are experiencing at the same time.
No, I
Conga
agree.
issues.
I agree that there are periods where Conga is not processing the documents quickly. Absolutely,
and I guess
I agree with that.
And then in the flow of what we have to do and what our job descriptions are, we can't wait. I mean, we can't wait. You can't wait 20 seconds. I mean, 20 seconds is about as much as I'd ever wait, I think, and that's an accurate statement, I think, for the group, especially in IS. You have to be able to move on. The volume of work in front of us is too tremendous. And to do it a batch cycle, to go back to have to find where we'd need to attach something to an email or whatever it'd be more work in my mind. So
yeah, purchasing definitely couldn't do a batch cycle because we use the email delivery status to know we're done with a PO. But I kind of agree with Chris. Anything over 10 seconds, I'm trying to move on to the next PO, and it'll cause me to make mistakes because I'll bring up a Metroflex and 2 Lochinvar POs. And if my first one is hung up merging, I move on to Metroflex. By the time I get back, a lot of times I'll accidentally, Charlene will catch me. Why'd you send this to Metroflex? It was supposed to be Lochinvar or vice versa. And it's because I've waited long enough. I go back and I make a mistake. So it really, it really needs to be solved for us to be more proficient. And again, we can't do batch from a purchasing perspective.
Okay.
I mean, I would more question, and sorry if Conga hears this, I don't understand why we need Conga. And part of that for me is like Dominic has to use a special program to upload and download pricing, but then we find out there's a built-in solution where we don't need it. So I would even question. It seems weird to me you would create a program and then need this third-party thing that is causing us all problems.
Okay,
Just
go ahead, Kelly.
Conga does way more than print documents. Is the reason that Financial Force partners with them. It has automation involved. You can program it to do all kinds of things. So it's way more than what we use it for. It's extremely powerful. So we don't take advantage of all the things Conga is. But if we just wanted to do straight document creation, there probably is another way. Not probably. There is another way to do it.
I don't think we would want to use Conga for more at the rate of how, obviously, listen to us. None of us are confident with it.
All right. Well, from my side, I've done the research on the Conga side, and whenever we report that there is a slowness, they have been able to work their system in the back end and repair the issue. So I still think it's nothing we're doing. I think it has to do with their server load and what they're doing. So basically, what they do is they pull all of the data off of Salesforce, put it into a document, and then send that document back to Salesforce. That's basically what they do. And that document is then available as an object in Salesforce. That's the whole composer. So the templates live in Salesforce, but they require the server, the Conga server, to generate those documents. And in my opinion, and there's evidence that there has been changes to those servers to try to improve performance in the past. But it's hard to correlate those with what we're currently experiencing, which is basically intermittent slowness. But I guess knowing that, Kelly, I would like to see if LAD has a solution that it addresses the core issue, which is they don't want to wait more than 20 seconds for a document to generate. And 20 seconds is pushing it. So if I take a file from Microsoft Word and basically use Adobe Acrobat to convert it into a PDF, that's basically what you're doing in Conga. So it's the same type of process, if you will. So just imagine that instead of you doing it, there's a computer back there doing it for you. So I would question whether or not 20 seconds is a reasonable target.
So Kristen's recommendation is to write, she said if they want to scrap Conga, the option is to rewrite all of the documents in a visual force page versus Conga, but then add some functionality to automate these types of transactions. So it can be done. Conga, we don't pay for Conga. I mean, individually pay. It's part of our licensing for Financial Force. But yeah, I think the first step is to share this with Conga and ask, are we isolated in this, or is this a common complaint? Have them really come and look and test our system and see what they think thoroughly. Obviously, not just a one-time customer service. Is everything okay? Really have them go in there and test it, check it out, and see what happens. It's not everyone, which is weird, right? So
is it not everyone, or is it?
Yeah,
is not everyone
question.
complaining?
I think that.
Well, I don't have an issue. I don't print a lot, but I don't have it. Kristen doesn't have it. I don't know, Leonard. You've printed fast before, like. I don't know. I don't do it enough, though, you guys, to know. You guys are in it all the time.
Well, I would say Columbia IS is everybody. I would say I've heard from everybody. So
okay, but it's intermittent. And was it like this for 2 years, or is this something that has just recently come up?
No, I would definitely say late last couple months for sure. It's been consistently intermittent.
It's been at least a year and a half, I think.
Yeah. Something that makes it suck now. I don't know.
Like I said, they're changing things all the time to make it more efficient. So I don't think there's anything they're doing specifically for us. I think they're doing it for all their customers. So which would indicate that we're not alone in this.
Hmm.
You know, because if we were alone in this, they wouldn't be, you know, if we call them, it wouldn't all of a sudden work. You know, and I think that's the way it is we experienced issue, we raised the issue, and they fixed the issue. So yeah, I would just wonder if I just want to make sure that if we're going to pay to program a new solution, that we get what we you know, what we expect out of the bargain. So we better be clear about that.
Is a Conga just specific? Just create a document, nothing special like contract, a template that just
Well,
configures.
it's a template that pulls data from our Salesforce environment.
Right.
It creates the document.
Right.
It attaches that document to a Salesforce object, and it sends that document either to a printer or to an email address with additional attachments. So you're able to add attachments at the time that you merge the initial document. Is that correct? I got that right, Matt?
It sounds right. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
And the other thing is it doesn't appear to have anything to do with the type of document that we're printing, right?
No.
All right.
No, it's amazing how many large orders with a bunch of attachments will go in 15 seconds, and it'll be one-liners. It doesn't seem to matter.
So Salesforce has it out of the box, but this is for like this standard objects, so we could explore what we can do with it to manipulate or duplicate the same result. So we can try that. You're probably familiar with that, Pat and Kelly. Just the standard objects, opportunities they print. Yeah, it's the formatting that is concerned. So because I know they have to I don't know, create the template and then make those adjustments.
So I think first step is we're going to talk to Conga, Pat.
Yeah.
And share this information with them and see what they say. And then go from there. And if they cannot come up with a solution, or they come up with a solution and we find that it doesn't work, then we scrap it and get Financial Force to pay for us to create documents. Because really they, you know, our licensing comes with a document creator, document creation software. And if they're not going to, if that's not going to be acceptable, then they're going to have to pay whoever to create Visual Force pages.
Okay.
Could it possibly have anything to do with the amount of people that are trying to use Conga at the same time?
It's probable, but if that was true, it wouldn't be just us. It would be the world. You know, anybody that has Conga.
That's the thing that's crazy about it. Like if you go out in the Salesforce, whatever ecosystem, you don't hear this about it, Conga. Now we talked to a developer this morning, Chris at LAD. We were on our Kristen meeting, and Michael Lutke, the guy that wrote the quote program, was on, and he's like, I hate Conga. But he hates it because it's hard to work with. It wasn't a performance issue. If you go to like the Financial Force community or you search in Conga complaints, you just don't get them. So I don't know.
Well, they're out there. But like you said, if you go to the Conga app on the Salesforce store, I think there's only one or two that talk about performance. Most of them talk about shitty support and bad. I'm sorry, and issues with pricing because they've been raising their prices for customers that pay directly to the Conga. So there are complaints, but like you said, there's not a lot of complaints about performance per se, which I would wonder how many people like sit there and push a button every time they need to print a document. Whereas like I mentioned in the finance department, we don't. We just use a batch process and everything is happy and nobody ever complains about it being slow. It could take all night. Nobody cares. So
I'm sure that the majority of people are emailing quotes
we don't know that.
Contracts.
So we don't know that. I would love to talk to one single customer from LAD that prints 2,000 documents a day and does it by pushing buttons, and they're happy with Conga. Because that's where we're at, 2,000.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm saying the email. I don't think printing necessarily, but
or whatever, printing
email
or emailing,
function.
same thing. Printing or emailing. And they're doing it with a button press. And at the level that we're doing. But anyways, does anyone have anything else to add to this? Anything they want Conga, anything you want Conga to know? Okay, Ben, do you have anything that you can add?
No, it's just that test from today.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to button this up. We're at 30 minutes. We're going to send this to Conga and see what they say about it. So.
All right. Thanks. Cool.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Take care.